Hello fellas and welcome back to another episode of Train Conductor World. And in last video we explored a couple of the new game modes throughout Amsterdam, Bruges, and Mons. But now we are going to be playing Cologne while we wait for the crash test to get started up in Amsterdam. Cologne is a new level. We haven't really had to deal with this level before, but here we go now. Let's just get started with this. Make sure to like, subscribe, and click those notifications. And let's get started with Cologne. Cologne is going to be an interesting one, because all the trains are coming from one direction and one direction only. We don't really have a whole lot. Oh my goodness, massive lag spike. Up, here we are. We're all good. We're all good. We haven't really had to deal with such level like this before. There's only like a couple levels that actually have trains coming from only one direction and not the other. We have Cologne, yes, but I think the only other ones are like Milieu, or is that how I pronounce it? And Budapest. Budapest is a quite crazy one. It's kind of like a mix between Bruges and Cologne. Cologne is quite tame compared to Budapest, but we will get to that level later. Right now, we're just gonna deal with getting these trains over to the bridge over there. I like how this destination includes like the whole train station, as well as the big cathedral there. I don't really know what it's called though. I'll flash it up a Wikipedia of it on screen. And there we go. Just like that, the round is over. We have 20 crates, 20 stars. I'm pretty sure that's a whole star for that, which is absolutely amazing. And we are going to move on from Cologne, and we're also going to get an extra amount of coins, as well as an extra container. But you know what? Yeah, I am gonna just go straight over to the main screen. And we have a new wooden track, which will help us to get to Paris. Paris is our next major goal, I would say. Although Paris is quite a ways away, and the most direct connection to Paris requires a branch track, but we don't really have any of those yet. Although we will try our best to get one of those. Now the next major chapter that I want to do is go over to Amsterdam now, because it has a crash test, which means more explodey trains. And every time you crash a train, it gives you more and more and more coins, which is amazing, really. And ooh, we have these bigger, beefier engines. These beefy engines don't really move a whole lot when they get crashed, which is very convenient for getting these coins down in the river. And also the crash noises are quite loud right now. But kaboom, side swipe. I don't really know why it really bothers to tell you like the different types of crashes that you get, like especially towards the beginning. Now that was just a big ol' mess. And the round is almost completely over already. And there we are. Now that was kind of crazy already. It was chaos. Let's just claim our tile and move on. Alright, it's a decent wooden tile, I would say. It kind of helps us get over to one of our next locations. What I could also do is ooh, how about this? How about I rearrange this to be more like this? That could work. And then we can use this tile to help get us over to Bruges a bit more. There. That is very nice and convenient. Then the next new thing that we're going to do is we're going to go over to Mons, which has pop as many balloons as I can. And this one's going to introduce a special kind of locomotive. The objective gives great bonuses. Drive the train through balloons to collect them. Super easy. There's a lot of balloons though. Like here we are. We have this little train. And I'm going to try to drive them through as many balloons as possible. That was nice and simple. And we're going to move this one through here. Boom. Now we have a bunch of balloons that are clumped over there. We just need a new train to spawn. That one spawned at a pretty inconvenient spot. It's really hard to pay attention. Now we're just going to do a zigzag motion across the screen to get all these balloons. I'm not sure about this last one. Oh, never mind. We're going to be all good. And we're going to use this last train to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. But I'm going to keep this train stopped for a little bit. And I'll also do this as a demonstration to show, like, what happens if you keep the train stopped for too long. Yep, it's going to begin panicking, and then it'll release itself and just keep going, like that. That's what happens if you stop trains for too long, which is why it's better to press and hold on the trains than to, well, just stop them completely. And this one's going to give us a straight up piece of track, which is convenient. I mean, we could use it. I'm also going to connect this down from Bruise like this, just so that we can, like, use whatever types of train tracks, because we really only need, like, a zigzag back and forth to get to Paris. Now, we've gone through a couple rounds, but I think we can go through Cologne again, get a 2nd star for it. And then, after that, how about we get 3 stars on Amsterdam? Oh my goodness, we already have a train container. That's so convenient. We're just gonna get the trains going like that. We have a new container. And the problem is that if we crash any of the trains, we lose the container. Which is why we really, really don't want to crash. Not that we ever really want to crash to begin with, because it gets rid of our profits. Oh, whoa, 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 there's one of the speedier trains. Those guys, like, are masked as just regular trains. And they don't really, well, they're a bit faster. And they are masked as regular trains. They make the regular train noises. There might only be, like, a slight delay from the panels or something like that. My game is laggy right now. But nothing really to be worried about because we are making good profits. Look at that. That's going to be, what, 28 containers and 29 stars. Very nice. And we're going to give ourselves a green star. You know what, heck, why don't we just go all the way over to Chaos Mode. Chaos Mode is going to be quite crazy. And there we are on the leaderboard. Not really, though, because, like, the high score for the world on medium difficulty apparently is 9,600, which is a bit excessive. And there we are, new wooden train track tile. Unfortunately, that's like the one wooden train track tile that doesn't actually help us get to Paris. But it will help us get to Hamburg. Hamburger. I know that's not what it's called, but now, as of right now, we can't really get over to Hamburg because we don't have any iron train track tiles. But, oh, we also lost all of our objectives. That's a shame. And Bruise will become a crash-tested 1 whole hour from now. But we don't really care about that. All we care about is getting the final star in Amsterdam. We're going to attempt to do that real quick right now. And then we're going to cut the very next video. Starting out pretty simple right now, but since I do believe this is Chaos Mode, that means that we're going to have, like, wait, this is on Chaos Mode, right? I don't know. I'll check. Probably is. Uh-oh. We have 2 trains on the same track. We can't have that. But we can send that over there. And we're also going to grab this 1 balloon real quick. And, oh no, we have a super slow train. I don't like those slow trains. They're super slow. It's like that one grandma that is driving 45 on a 55-mile-per-hour speed limit road. It really sucks. And we're going to get these trains over the bridge, and ideally I would use that blue train to get the balloon, but I really want to make sure that that slowpoke gets off my screen. We're going to get the green train over there, and then we have a yellow slowpoke. Luckily he's confined to the same side. We're gonna use that blue train to get that balloon, which also pushes us over to get one last train track tile today, which is really nice. Now, unfortunately, there's a couple trains that are spawning on the same time, and because I'm playing on desktop, it's kind of inconvenient to do all this. I really wonder how hard this is going to make gameplay for me as it gets to the late game. But that isn't really need to worry about right now. I'm going to hop off for this, and we also got our final star, which brings us to Chaos Plus for the final Chaos mode, which is really, really, really cool. And we also got a cool high score. We're going to claim our final containers right now. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one as we move on to Paris. See you then.